Hello and welcome, I am Patchwith, your Game Clown, once again, and we are going to be continuing our Awesomenauts tutorial with the next character in line, Lonestar. As a member of the original 6, Lonestar is a pusher type of character. He is sort of crowd control. He can essentially, like the name suggests, push characters in certain directions, and he's got quite a few interesting abilities. Now, before I go in, unlike last time, I'm going to take a look at the skins that are available for purchase beforehand, and then we can just sort of roll right into it. So this is the original skin for our space cowboy friend, and then we also have Officer, Lonestar, and Mel's. Mel's here was actually, I think it was last year. They were Romano, the developers of the game, had a kid come down, Mel's, I believe, who was part of the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and this skin was available, and everything that was raised by the purchase of this character went to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. I think that was last year, and they were doing it until the end of the year. I made sure to get it before all of that went down. So that being said, I think I'm going to use this skin just to show my appreciation for Romano and all the cool stuff that they do for us and other fans of the franchise. So let's take a look at our loadout. We'll start down here on the bottom with our move speed. The moves that he has, unlike Froggy, who has the high jump, he actually has a double jump. And you can actually do a triple jump as well as increase your walking speed, so I'm going to do that. The rest of it's the same setup as before, so just for the sake of getting stuff done, I'll do that. Now he actually has a gun which has various types of bullets. Pretty basic on that, but they can be used as pretty devastating if you know what you're doing. Damage, pretty standard. Attack speed, pretty standard. Now this one's interesting because it also adds a slow loading homing missile to your blaster. So you actually see the homing. Certain types of weapons do have a homing option to them, and they can be better or worse depending. And this one's a lot of fun. I'll probably actually use that. And then another damage increase. You actually have the bullets and missiles. They do a damage, AOE effect. And adds another slow loading homing missile to your blaster. Sorry, I've been doing this for a while. Everything I've gone up through till this point has been straight through, so everything's still fresh in the mind. But this will probably be my last one for the day. So that being said, since I'm not going to be doing much with him, attack speed and attack damage. So. Alright, now our pusher here actually has the hyperbole for the push part of that whole moniker. Basically what it does is it creates a bull that will essentially force characters back. It can affect both characters and bots, will give them a pushback, but for stationary objects like Scree's totem and Voltar's medical tank, it won't actually move them, so the hyperbole will stop there. It also stops at walls and on turrets, but anything else pretty much can get pushed away, even going so far as to sort of give them a little bit of a lift so it sort of juggles them backwards. You can also, like I said, the super breed here can make the bull bigger and push harder. Reduces the cooldown, as I said, pretty standard. The hyperbole can slow enemies. Slow is a pretty common one. Now this one is pretty cool because just like the tornado from Froggy, it actually causes an explosion on death, which can pretty devastating. It can be used to take out bots, Awesomenauts, and even does damage to turrets. Now this one is interesting. As I said, the Hyperbolt pushes, but unless you use the Techno Viking helmet, the Hyperbolt actually doesn't cause any damage. I wish I could actually use this one because that's a real good benefit to this, but we'll pick that up a little bit later on. And Hyperbolt will slow enemies, so cooldown and slow. So looks like using these two you can make your characters super slow by pushing them. Since I don't have anything cool, I think I'll just go with Hyperbolt Explode, cooldown reduced, and the bigger and harder and pusher. Yeah, you know what, let's slow down enemies, why not? So yeah, pretty cool. And I didn't really go into this because I don't spend a lot of time using Froggy, but it's more noticeable with Lonestar. When you have different skins, it also affects the skins of your attacks. So the regular Hyperbolt just looks like a bowl. The Officer Lonestar has like a siren on the back, and this one is actually going to have tank treads. So it's pretty cool. And the last ability that we have is the Dynamite, which is basically just an AoE attack. I'm going to use the Transfusion Grenade since it's new, which adds a life stealing effect to the Dynamite. You can add an extra stick of Dynamite. I already know I'm using that. Mr. TNT, I pity the fool that don't use this. We'll use you next time, Mr. T. But yeah, that increases the explosion size of the Dynamite. The Rubber Sleeve causes your Dynamite to bounce. I'm going to use that one. And the Dark Matter Flashbang adds a flashing effect to the Dynamite. Now, we haven't encountered a character that actually does blinding yet. Blinding basically causes a screen to sort of make either flashes or essentially just causes a lot of visual disturbance to make it more difficult to concentrate on what you're doing. A lot of characters focus a lot on that. Vinny and Spike being one, Raylan another. And it does come in handy as well, but I tend to go with more damage because, as you've probably seen, I have a heck of a hard time actually killing anything. So let's get in and I will show the mechanics of how everything gets used. Alright, here we go. We're on Ribbit 4. I may have not mentioned this, but I believe Ribbit 4 is actually Froggy's homeworld. Froggy! Alright, so as you can see, Lonestar here moves quite a bit slower than Froggy. He's a medium speed character. We got our gun, shoots bullets, as guns are wont to do. He doesn't have as high a jump, but he does have the double jump, which can be demonstrated like this. Blop, 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 blop. So you can use that for a lot of different escape purposes and whatnot. Okay, so there's our money. It actually allows you to do this. So, oh, you know what? Since I've got this, let me actually show you his new movement speed. So, a little faster, not much difference when going horizontally, but when you're going vertically, blop, blop. So that's kind of a cool little... Gives him a little bit more mobility that direction. So, vertical, he's a champ. Okay, so shoots stuff, pretty standard, black, blacka, blacka, and block, block, blacka. Now, his different abilities. We'll start off with the Hyperbolt. Let's see if we can find a character that we can actually push. Here we go. Hey, hey. Alright, let's not start off with the Hyperbolt. We'll start off with the Dynamite. Whoop! Now, what I just did there was I just clicked the button. Bit of a short range on that, wasn't it? Well, that is actually because along with him and a couple of other characters, they have the ability to sort of get a bit of an arch going on. The arch of it can cause you to sort of reel back, woof, and you can actually toss it further like that at an angle. So you can use that pretty efficiently. And the other ability is the ability to push characters. Whoosh! There is the hyperbole. And as you can see, he knocks them back. Now, if used properly, you can actually do quite a cool, couple of cool stuff. One thing is if you actually get the... Hold on. Okay. You notice that these platforms, they actually can stop the bombs and causes them to either bounce off like that or... dynamite also damages turrets as well and gives him sort of an area effect. Now you can also hide behind the hyperbole temporarily to escape damage from the turrets, as you just saw. So good crowd control, a good bit of defense as well. All in all, a neat little dynamic. Boom. Okay, hold on. Let me just take out this turret. Good use of both of these can cause some serious damage to turrets and to people. Now, one other thing you can do with this is if you got that, you can actually, toss these, and then push people towards the turret like that. Now, if I were any good, you get one closer here and you sort of like pop up behind them. You can use your bowl to push them into the turret, so the turret will also shoot them while they're stuck and helpless. And if you've got the hyperbole with the damage, it's not only causing damage from the hyperbole, but it's also causing damage from the turret, and then with the explode at the end, boom! Well, let's just say you can take out a character with full health doing that technique if you're skilled enough. You will not be seeing much of that in my playthroughs. Let's just say Lonestar here, not a character that I'm usually very good with. Now, I could try to go into all of the different types of abilities here, but that would take a long time to, kill enough people to do each one of these skills. It's actually kind of good to play around with it, see what style works for you anyway, but I will show you a couple of things. The rubber sleeve, let me see, the the missile, and the hyperbole explode on death. So let's check out these particular items real quick before we end up finishing this game. The boink. Okay, see, the rubber sleeve causes the bullets to bounce like that. Pretty neat. Ah, shoot. Boingy boingy. They bounce one time and then cause damage. Oh man, I almost did that. Now, again, the hyperbole, as you can see, actually has a bomb strapped to it, causing an explosion at the end. Kind of a neat little thing. And pretty devastating. Okay, now I haven't actually shown the missile. Oh, there it goes. Shoot, 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 and then the missile actually shows up. And the missile does actually home in on characters as well. So, neat effect. And, oh, God, die, 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 die. Ooh, go, no, no, ooh. Uh-oh, boom, whatever. So those are two of those enhanced skills. I can't show you some of the others, obviously. Let's see if there's anything else I can really show you for the purposes of... here we go. Let's go with the damage. Health steal. Now, keep in mind, if you increase the number of dynamite you have, obviously the more damage you'll do, but also the more health that you'll actually acquire when you do this. So let's get in. Oops. Oi! Die, you bastard. Die, 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 die. Not quite what I had in mind. So let's get some damage. Here we go. We've got damage. Now, when we actually use our dynamite, boom, boom, we actually get a little bit of that back in. I think there's a couple of levels of that. Maybe not. But it is a really good way to sort of cause some serious damage and not die in an emergency. So that's pretty much the basics, guys. I'd say definitely the best method of killing people in this game is definitely that trick where you like you hide under here, and when they're close enough, hyperbole them into, yeah, there we go, exactly like that. You see? And then dynamite them. Make sure they don't heal themselves up, because clunk can be pretty much. And yeah, that right there is probably your best method of killing people with Lonestar. He's very good at crowd control. You can use the hyperbole to push other characters into more dangerous characters like Durple. You can keep them close to people with like Leon. Very, very handy. Very, very solid character. Nothing but love. I'm just not very good with him. I'm a bit of a Twitch gamer, so yeah, kind of a spaz. Anything else we should take a look at? Increased damage, that's pretty standard. Well, let's take a look at the... Oh, and let's actually show you what a slow effect actually looks like. Why not? This one was running a little short. Okay, see the size of that? Now, you see how above their heads you had that little clock? That is an indication of a character that's slowed down. It's just that it slows down their movement speed and makes them a little bit easier to hit because they have a harder time running away from you. Very handy in a lot of situations. Schlunk. Yeah, Voltar, or sorry, not Voltar, Lonestar, very, very cool character. Blam. Yep. Very, very cool character. I highly recommend it. You know, check it out. If the Mel's Make-A-Wish Foundation donation thing is still going on, please donate to that. Great organization. And if you like what I'm doing here, guys, with these tutorials, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, and if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I will, as always, leave a link to the Romano website for Awesomenauts so you can take a look more at lore based around these characters. He's kind of got a pretty funny backstory. And other than that, guys, I will just see you next time. So until then, cheers all.